All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about fractions. And fractions are kind of like ratios in that they're a part of or a relationship to a whole number. So when you think of a percentage is part of a whole. So like these first three, 5, 6, and 7, it says use a 10 by 10 grid to model percent. So what I need to do here is I need to make a 10 by 10 grid. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here's 10 lines, and I'm going to make 10 of those, or I'm going to make I think 9 or 11. One of the two. Let's see. There's 2. There's 3 boxes, 4 boxes, 5 boxes, 6 boxes, 7 boxes, 8 boxes, 9 boxes, 10 boxes. So here's 10 tens. And I just used the lines on the paper to help make my box. I'm only going to draw one box, and I'll show you why I'm only going to draw one box. Even though I'm doing 3 problems, I'm only going to make one box here. All right, so let's take a look here. All right, so there's my 10 by 10 box. So it says use a 10 by 10 grid to model the percent. So 10% of a 10 by 10 box would be 10 of 100. So here's 10%. So 10% would just be this row. All right, so this is number 5. Number 5 is this row. All right, now 55%. So if I want to do 55%, so remember this is 10% is really 10 over 100. So I did 10 boxes out of 100, and that's 10%. 55% would be 55 out of 100. So I'm going to fill in 55 little boxes here. So here's 3, 4, 5. Here's 50 would be this many. So it would be half of them. And then 5 more little ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's number 6. So that's 55. All right, 35 would be 35 over 100. So now I need to fill out 35 of them. And I think I'll start over here and I'll do it vertical lines this time. 1, 2, 3. There's 30. And then 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 35. So this is number 7. So a fraction, when you're looking at it like this, it's just a part of a whole. Okay, and the cool thing about fractions, and the next part of this assignment that's really, really simple, is that it says write percent as a fraction or a mixed number in its simplest form. So for number 8, what you need to do here is you need to think 45%. 45% is equal to 45 over 100. Okay, that's what it is as a fraction. Now, it says as simplest form. Okay, when we're doing simplest form, we need to start doing some division. So this is 5 and this is 0. So they're both going to divide by 5. Because remember, 5 can divide by anything that ends in 5 or 0. So I'm going to divide this by 5 and I get 9. And if I divide this by 5, I get 20. So 9/20. So 45% is the same as 9/20 because 9 and 20 don't go into each other. So that's it, 9/20. So let's look at number 9 here. I'll do a couple more for you. So 90%, and I always like to write the original thing down, is 90 over 100. The quickest thing you can do with this is divide by 10, which is I just cross out the 0. So now I have 9/10. 9/10 is simplest form here. When you have two numbers that end in 0, you can just start hacking away zeros, because this is what I just did here is I divided this by 10 and it became 9. I divided this by 10 and it became 10. That's why I just crossed out the zeros. All right, so that's what you're going to do with most of these. But then you're going to get down here to like number 18. And 18 is different because 18 is we're taking a decimal, so it's 0.25%. This is not 25%. This is 0.25%. So 0.25% would be 0.25 over 100, which is a problem. So 0.25 over 100 is not technically accurate. So it's not 0.25 over 100, because then what it would be is it would be 0.25 over 100, which is still kind of a problem. So what we need to do for this one, let me take a look for it really quick. We need to turn this into a whole number. So if I take 0.25, and I know that 0.25 is 1/4, so if I multiply this by 4, that will give me 1, right? 0.25 times 4, because 25, 25, 50, 75, 100 would be 1, right? So if I multiply by this by 4, this will equal 1 now. But whatever I do to the top, I have to do to the bottom. So I multiply this by 4, and this equals 400. So 0.25 is 1/400. Okay? And I know that was a little tough, but what you have to do is you have to take this fraction, or this decimal, which is a fraction. 0.25 is 1/4. And you got to multiply it by something that makes this into 1. And whatever you do to the top, you do to the bottom. So let's look at 19 also. And yes, I know I'm doing the 2 hard ones for or with you, but I think that's important. So this one says 0.4%. So 0.4 times what gets me to 100? And so here it was 0.25 times 4. Here it's 0.4 times what? It's going to be 0.4 times 25. If I take a calculator, and I'll show you this, let me get my calculator up real quick. So if I have 0.4 and I multiply by 25, that gives me 10. So I want to do 0.4 times 2.5, which will equal 1. So 2.5. Okay, and this would be 0.4 over 100. So I need to multiply the bottom by 2.5, which would give me 250. Okay, so 100 times 2.5 equals 250. Now I can take these now and I can divide them by, well, let's start with 5. Let's do 2.5 divided by 5 equals 0.5. I don't want to do that. Okay, so 2.5, what can I divide this by to get it to be 1? If I divide this by 2.5, this will equal 1. If I take 250 and divide it by 2.5, that will equal 100. 0.4 equals 1 over 100. That doesn't seem right, and I don't think it is. So let me take a look here, see what I did wrong. No, it's 1 over 250. But I couldn't tell you why. So number 19 is a challenge problem for you. I don't know why. The correct answer for this is 1 over 250, but I don't know why. So you work that out, and when you figure it out, you tell me tomorrow. Okay, so you're going to do the rest of these. You're going to do 5 through 19. So we did 5, 6, and 7. We did 8 and 9, and we did 18. 19 is the challenge problem, and you're going to tell me how you figured this. So you're going to do 10 through 17. All right, ready to go.